All right. In this class, we're going to be talking about force. And people will say, is it by force? In this class, it's by force. All right, that's on a light mode. What is force? According to Newton's second law of motion, refer to the class I taught on Newton's law of motion. All objects will remain in the state of rest or constant motion, uniform motion, except a force is acted on them. Now, force is that agent that causes movement or change in motion, uniform motion of an object. Without force, every object will remain at the state of rest or constant uniform motion. But once a force is introduced, then there will be a change. That agent that causes change in the state of rest or uniform motion of an object is force. So force is an agent that causes change in a state of rest or uniform motion of an object or a body. So anything that causes a change in the state of rest or uniform motion of an object is a force. And force can be in two ways. You have contact force or field force, right? Contact force is this force that must be in contact with the object for it to be effective, for it to cause a change in motion, for it to cause the displacement, for it to cause change in the state of rest, it must be in contact. For example, push or pull. When you're pushing or pulling an object, you have to hold it, you have to touch it, you have to be in contact with it. Friction, that's another example of a contact force. Even when you're driving a car, you want to accelerate, you have to do what? Match the pedal, contact force. All right? So a contact force is a force that must be in touch or in contact with the object that is changing the state of rest or uniform motion. For force field, it doesn't necessarily have to be in contact for it to have its effect. And we see gravitational force, yeah, magnetic force field, electrostatic. These are examples of force field. There's a force field that's not studied in physics, but I believe it's a force field. For example, spiritual force. Huh? Okay, we know that happens a lot in Africa. All right, so we've learned that there's contact force, there's force field. Then what's the formula for force? Because we said force must cause a change in state of rest or uniform motion, we now know that force is mass times acceleration. Refer to my class on Newton's second law of motion. You're going to see how this formula is derived. Because second law of motion says that all objects will continue to be in the state of rest or uniform motion except a force is applied to it. That's first law. And second law now states that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied and it's often in the direction of the force. And that is where we get this. And the third law says that for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. Thank you. If this has been useful, make sure you like this channel, subscribe, and follow for more. Hasta la vista.